Hey, we welcome you back to Newsmax Now. I'm John Bachman. Recently had a chance to talk with John Schneider, star of the new film Adrenaline. Of course, he was also the star of Dukes of Hazzard. We talked about how that part of Southern culture has been swept up in this movement to eliminate references to the Confederacy and its leaders. But first, we start with a clip of that new movie, Adrenaline.
The adrenaline's pumping, that's for sure. There's nothing like it.
Every man runs a race. And at the end of the race, there's a prize. For some, it's money, fame, glory. But those things don't last forever. So you got to ask yourself, what am I racing for?
Heavy question there. That was a scene from the new movie Adrenaline. And joining me right now is one of the stars of that film, John Schneider. You may know him as Bo Duke from, of course, the Dukes of Hazzard. Huge fan. John, it's great to have you with us.
Great to be here. I appreciate it.
All right, I'm
Thanks,
John Bachman, no relation to Catherine Bachman, also known as Daisy Duke. Also grew up in Georgia, so you can see why I'm a little excited about talking to you. But we'll get to the movie in just a second. I do want to talk to you real quickly about some of the things that have come up in relation to the Dukes of Hazzard. We'll talk about the General Lee, the iconic car, but just this week, the city of Alexandria, Virginia, the birthplace of Robert E. Lee, voted to ban the Confederate flag from flying on city property on Lee's birthday and on Confederate Memorial Day. Are you surprised how far this movement has gone?
I'm a little embarrassed about how far the movement has gone. It's just crazy. Grant owned slaves. Lee did not own slaves.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a case for South Carolina where this hate crime played out. That's according to the Justice Department.
Certainly.
It was a hate crime that maybe should be removed from the State House, very close to the, where that shooting took place. But there seems to be this slippery slope where they want to remove the Confederate generals from Stone Mountain in Georgia. They want to take it down to honor Robert E. Lee. It just seems like it's never going to stop.
Well, Robert, now, as far as flying the flag in at the state capitol, I understand. I can certainly understand why people would say, "Look, you shouldn't do that." I could see why people would fight that. They're depicting these folks as if they were rebellious, toothless rednecks who just had nothing better to do than fight against Lincoln and the Army of the Potomac.
And on one hand, you can make the case for making some changes, but on the other hand, you got to preserve part of this country's history. So that's enough about that topic. We'll move on. I want to talk about your movie, Adrenaline. And that question that we just saw there in the trailer, what are you racing for? Of course, this movie's about race car driving, but that's more of a universal question, of course, right?
It is a universal question. What is it for? I have to say one other thing. Dukes of Hazzard is and always be one of the most family-friendly television shows of all time. And for it to be caught up in this crossfire is really a travesty. It's very, very sad.
It's sad to see that get swept up in all of this.
It is. It's friendly fire, apparently, or we're collateral damage. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But the question in Adrenaline, what are you racing for? What is it that makes you tick? What is it that you're doing, and why are you doing it? I love making movies. I have not worked a day in my life, because I love what I do. I believe, honestly, that we are designed to do something. Adrenaline is about racing. Wonderful show about racing. It's about forgiveness. It's about apologizing to people if you need to apologize to someone. I don't believe it's so much what happens, it's what you do with what happens. Adrenaline. What do you do with the circumstance you're given? If this young man is no longer able to walk because of an accident he had while he was street racing. Street racing is against the law. Street racing is a very dangerous thing. What do you do with the tools you've been given? What do you do with the hand you've been dealt? That's what Adrenaline is about. It was a great experience and a wonderful opportunity to take something I love, which is racing, and turn it into it's not a browbeating message film at all. It's a film that is exciting to watch.
But the message is certainly there, and I think that's what's great about it. It's not overtly preaching at you, but you walk away from that movie feeling like, these are important questions to ask, and what do you do with your circumstance? Do you give up, or do you keep fighting or driving, as in the case with this movie? Unfortunately, we're out of time, but John, I could talk to you all day. We could have a reminiscent session about how great the Dukes of Hazzard is and always will be. John Schneider, Bo Duke, great to see you.
You have a wonderful day. Thanks for the time.
All right, you can tell I had a little fun with that interview there. The movie Adrenaline, out now on DVD. You can go ahead and get your copy.